Good late afternoon, early evening, everybody. Super Jackster01 here. It's now time for another top 10 list, except instead of just showing like images from what the numbers are for my top 10, I'm actually going to show you some clips and describe why I like them. It's kind of similar to how I did my favorite SpongeBob episodes, but since we know back in November I did my top 10 favorite Pixar films, I thought, why don't I do my top 10 favorite Pixar short films? Which, for those of you who don't know about the short films, even though I'm sure probably you do, ever since A Bug's Life, Pixar, before even Pixar did their first film, Toy Story 1995, they made short films, computer animated short films. And starting with A Bug's Life, with the short they did, Jerry's Game, they would put the short film before the actual movie that they would release. And they've been doing that for ever since A Bug's Life, their second film. For Toy Story, I don't think when Toy Story was released they had a short film attached to it. I'm pretty sure it didn't. Although for the Gold Class Collection VHS they put the short Tin Toy, but that doesn't count because it wasn't released theatrically. If I am wrong, if there was, for those of you who saw Toy Story in theaters back in '95, please let me know in the comments if there was a short film. But later on, but then those shorts have been released on their own before. When they released two volumes in 2007, they released the first volume, and then in 2012 they released the second volume. So I'm going to be doing a top 10 list of my favorite Pixar short films. So without further ado, let's get started with number 10. Tin Toy is a great short from 1988. They only made it to the top of the list because since it was one of Pixar's earlier shorts, I don't know, it just never really interested me as a kid. I like the storyline though. It was almost like an earlier version of Toy Story, which is almost inspired Toy Story. Well, I'll explain about that in a different video. The plot line is about like a little one-man band toy, or a little toy. His name is Tinny, and he's all curious. He just came out of the box, and he's very curious about everything that goes around him. In a couple seconds, you'll see that there is a baby, in which, since this is earlier, 1988, computer animation of humans was very difficult. So they did their best in the baby. So people get freaked out by the animation of the baby, but it doesn't really bother me. So Tinny likes this a lot. Very excited about how the baby is playing. However, then he sees in a couple seconds how babies chew toys. When we were all babies, we all chewed on toys. It's a very, very unique short film. It won an Academy Award for Best Short Film. I think it was an Academy Award for Best Short Film, and yeah, I did like it. It's just that it never really interested me on the kids. I still enjoyed the short film, but it made number 10 on the list. Red's Dream is another good short film. This is the only short film not counting Andre and Wally-B, which unfortunately did not make the list because that wasn't an official Pixar short. This is the only one that was not attached to any film. Tin Toy was not attached to any film theatrically, but was also released on the Gold Class Collection VHS of Toy Story. But for Red's Dream, this is a very interesting short film. It has a very nice jazz piece. Unfortunately, though, you're not going to be able to hear audio for any of the shorts here, because just to save some copyright, and I don't want to do anything illegal, so I took out the audio. So it's basically about an old bike shop, and there's an old bike, a unicycle, it's just in the corner, and we call him Red due to his color. It's I like the 50% off tag. It's basically about, let's see, this is the animation of a clown. A lot of people also get freaked out by the clown. They call him Lumpy. Similar how the baby in Tin Toy. People get freaked out by this. I mean, yes, I am freaked out by clowns, but I still like this animation. And you can see the Luxo ball from Luxo Jr. That actually will appear later on the list. Yeah, but Lumpy it is a little creepy right there, but later on, Red steals the show, so it's basically then becomes a show where the unicycle is the star. Unfortunately, the short has a sad ending. If you haven't seen the short, definitely check it out. Red's Dream, good short. Number 8 is none other than Partly Cloudy. This was a short film that was shown in theaters in 2009, attached to Up. It goes a lot with the good references of how, like they say, babies come from storks. I like the idea of them actually storks bring babies, and yeah, the plotline, the opening of this is really, really cute, showing all the puppies, the kittens, and they also show the little babies. Unfortunately, for some reason, when I saw it up in theaters, this short film was not attached to it. I heard it was only for some theaters, but anyway, let's get back on track. Anyway, so basically, the items are made by these clouds that make the things with this magic, and see, they make it with this kind of magic power, and then and then they put them in the I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get to the point here, but I'm constantly trying to think of things to say. So they put them in these things. It's really good. What I like about the short is that the animation and the animation in it is really, really good. The plot line here was that we got a cloud, he's great, he's underworlds, he tries his best, he's not really good at making real good things, but he has like this, he makes, see here, he makes an alligator. Later on he makes stuff like a porcupine and what was it, a goat, yeah. And the store kind of gets sick of it, but yeah, I like the short. It's very, very good. So that's my Partly Cloudy, number 8 on this list. Number 7, Lifted. This short film was shown at film festivals back in 2006 and was shown in theaters in the summer of 2007, attached to Ratatouille. This is a very interesting or very scientific kind of short film. Basically, the short is about a farmer whose name is, they call him Ernie, and he owns a farm, and he's asleep in bed, and suddenly this light comes and is trying to, here, I'll let you see. So they try and lift, he's then being lifted into the air. Oddly enough, whatever happens, he never wakes up. It's weird. So then they're going to take him, but then keeps hitting ahead. And then is then revealed that above is a spaceship and that an alien is being tested on trying to capture this guy. It's very funny how, everything, even when the guy keeps getting hit, he never wakes up from any of that. I find it so funny. I totally forgot what this guy's name was, but that teacher right there, they call him Mr. B. What I like about this short is how do I put it? So very, how should I put it? I'm sorry for trying to figure. I just call it really unique how, especially the alien on the the animation of the aliens, all that green, squishy colors. It's very funny. As I said, very funny how this farmer, Bernie, never wakes up throughout the entire thing. So if you haven't seen Lifted, I recommend you check this short out. It's very good. Good. Number 6 is none other than Presto. This short film was shown in theaters in 2008, attached to Wall-E. It's basically about this rabbit who you're about to see in this cage is the rabbit to a magician whose name is Presto. This rabbit right here. And what all the rabbit wants is to eat that carrot. But Presto wants him, the magician just wants him to be part of his magic act. This character, Presto, you'll find. Yep, this is him. Him, the magician. It's very funny. Here, let me show you something that's really cool what he has. These two magic hats that actually just... Here, I'll let you see the example. It's really cool. I really wish hats see, whatever happens in that hat comes out the other one. So it's almost actually explaining or examining how magic is done. It's very funny, actually. All this rabbit wants is the carrot. If I were Presto, I would have just given him the carrot. It's very, very funny. If you look here, oh wait, no, it happens later. You're gonna have to watch the short on its own because I want to move on with the video. But Presto is a very, very funny short, and it actually is basically just showing up, this guy screwing up his magic trick. So it kind of shows what can happen
with magic tricks. After all, you could find out how magic is done. After all, a great magician must never reveal his secrets. Number 5, Boundin', a 2003 short film shown in theaters in 2004 attached to The Incredibles. This is the only Pixar short film released theatrically that isn't based on any, of the films like Toy Story or Monsters Inc. or stuff. Their traditional own short film that has dialogue. Most of the Pixar short films have no dialogue, which is really good because they're able to tell a story with that dialogue. It's basically about a lamb right here, all sparkling clean, can do all these cool dances for all the animals. The animation in this is really, really cool. It's really funny, just a lamb just dancing. Yeah, this is also narrated by Pixar worker Bud Lucky. Fun fact, these fish were actually originally supposed to be a character in Finding Nemo named Gurgle. I think that was his name. And, but, yeah, so everything goes great for the lamb until one day this guy shows up, and the guy grabbing the lamb is actually the dentist from Finding Nemo. But it turns out it's the guy, he shaves the lamb. And if you kind of look closely, when he's shaved, he kind of almost looks like Dobby, the house elf from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. It's really, I just really like this short. I found it so surprising that they put dialogue, because usually these short films don't have dialogue. But, what can I say? It's a great short. And of course, we also got this jackalope, who again is also voiced by Bud Lucky. Yeah, Bud Lucky did a lot in this short. He narrated it and he voiced the jackalope. So, yeah, Boundin'.
And number 4 is Pixar's first short film they ever made, and that is none other than Luxo Jr. Not counting Andre and Wally-E, which was made with Lucasfilm, this was the first short film they did. This was made back in 1986. 10 years later, it was released on a VHS called Tiny Toy Stories, and then it was shown in theaters in 1999, attached to Toy Story 2. Now this is the examples of the Luxo lamp, which we know we could see in the Pixar logo, which you see that lamp every single time I show the number. So, the numbers for what place these Pixar short films are in. So we got the father lamp and the baby lamp, which the baby lamp is the one that's in the Pixar logo. It's basically, that's the Luxo ball, which makes a cameo in a lot of Pixar short films. This was one of the first Pixar short films I ever saw, and yes, I actually like this short a lot. This is also pretty much the second shortest Pixar short film ever, pretty much behind Andre and Wally-E, but since that really doesn't count, this is their shortest one. So Luxo Jr., great short. Number 3 is none other than Jerry's Game. This was the first short film to be released theatrically to the public, because this is a 1997 short film. It was shown in theaters in 98, attached to A Bug's Life. Now, this is a very good short film. I really like the French music playing in the background. Unfortunately, I really suck at chess. I'm more of a checkers guy. I do a lot better at checkers. Every time we played chess in school, I'd lose every single game I play. I lose every single game. So the plotline about this is that it's an old man named Jerry, and he's basically playing a game of chess by himself. But what he's doing, he's playing by himself, but he's pretending to be two guys there, so it kind of goes around. There's two guys there, and that's what's really funny. And yeah, you can see now here he's the more young guy there. That's what I really like about this short. And starting with this short film, every Pixar short film that would be released would also be released theatrically with their feature films. As I said, this was shown before A Bug's Life in theaters. And starting with this, every Pixar short film would have a short film attached to it. So, yeah, if you haven't seen this short film, I definitely recommend it. This is also another one of the first short films I ever saw. So, yep. Jerry's Game, I recommend it. Also, fun fact, the character Jerry was also used in Toy Story 2 as the guy who fixes Woody's arm. It was just a little fun fact there. Number 2 was the very first Pixar short film I ever saw.
and it is none other than For the Birds. Now, this is a 2000 short that was shown in theaters in 2001, attached to Monsters Inc. This was the first Pixar short film I ever saw, since Monsters Inc. was the first Pixar film I ever saw, so obvious this would be the first Pixar short film I saw. It's a very funny short. I love the music that plays in the background. You can't hear the music because they've taken out the audio for these Pixar shorts, but you could see the entire short on YouTube. It's basically about these little birds that are kind of like a group there, and they're all just chirping, and then they hear this loud honk, and they look over and they see a really big bird. He's almost like they all look, and basically this big bird, he almost looks like a bigger version of Zazu, the bird from The Lion King. And all this bird, these little guys are just making fun of that big bird, but all the big bird just wants to do is just join those guys, but the guys just make fun of him, like they don't want this big bird to be part of their group, so they try and hide. So no, they're trying to get away from him, and they're really being very mean to him. And I love the animation in this. And oh yeah, and then the big bird comes to join them. Of course his weight then goes, and all they're just like all getting angry at him. All this big bird just wanted to do was join him, but in the end he gets the last laugh. I have to check out the short to find out. So For the Birds, first Pixar short film I ever saw, and number 2 on this list. The animation is really good. Well done. Ralph Eggleston, the director, he did a good job coming up with the idea for this short film. Very good. And my number 1 favorite Pixar short film is none other than their 1989 short film, Nicknack. Yep, this is my number 1 favorite Pixar short film. I loved it as a kid, and I still love it as a teenager. This is their 1989 short film. This is the censored version. They censored it in 2003 when it was shown before Finding Nemo. And it was also shown in 2006 attached to the 3D re-release of The Nightmare Before Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was. If anybody saw the 3D re-release of Nightmare Before Christmas, let me know in the comment center. But it's about all these knickknacks right there. And then we have all the sunny knickknacks. And then we got a guy in a snow globe. He's a snowman. They call him Nick. And they joke saying that he's the cousin of Frosty the Snowman. He sees the sunbather swimsuit girl, and he basically just wants to get out of his cold snow globe and wants to be with all the warm characters. But the problem is he basically can't get out. And it has very classical music by Bobby McFerrin. Which the music in this, he did all this music by himself, and he just showed, and that's basically all he. This is all him doing it, and the music was made especially for this short film. So, yeah, a lot of people put this as their favorite short film, to my knowledge, and yes, I do like it. I love Nicknack, very great short film, and this was the second short film I ever saw, so yeah, it's a great short. I love the music and everything, so especially in the end during the credits when you hear blah blah blah. If you haven't seen the short film, type the name of it up on YouTube right now. You'll like it. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen any of the short films on this list, please do so. They're worth it.
There you go. I hope you enjoyed my top 10 favorite Pixar short films on this list. Stay tuned for my next video. Be sure to let me know what your favorite Pixar short film is below in the comments section. So, hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll see you for my next one.